is up, you guys? I've been really challenging a lot of things about myself. I think for you to be able to benefit from what I'm about to share, you have to be very brave. You have to be someone who's ready to confront yourself. You have to be somebody who is ready to challenge yourself. And I'm going to share a more personal view on this. But the thing that I'm talking about, I want you to put what I'm about to share to everything in your life. So I'm saying internally, externally, about yourself, about somebody else, like just everything that comes your way. I challenge you to challenge everything. Question everything. You know, because we're all such products of our past and what we're told to believe by the government, by our parents, by culture, by friends, by TikTok, by social media. Until you start to question everything, you don't really understand who you are and what your morals really are. And so for me, where this comes into play is when it comes to my body image and food. And I haven't been shy about talking about my history with EDs and body dysmorphia. And so I was really struggling because I thought I had beat this thing, and for lack of better words, I pretty much relapsed. And a lot of things that I thought I would never do again, I did. I had to kind of step away and start to question why. When I say question everything, I mean in the moments that you're uncomfortable, fall back into something that you do for comfort to numb yourself, whether it's binge eating, whether it's doing drugs, whether it's drinking, smoking, whatever it is, things that you do that don't serve you. Your brain is saying, you know this isn't good for you, you know you don't want to do this, but there's every single cell in your body just being like, but I want to. These stories that you tell yourself, you know, I'm an addict, or I love sugar, I'm addicted to food, I'm not disciplined, I always need to this, I don't like to eat healthy. These things that we say, these stories that we tell ourselves, these beliefs that we make ourselves believe about ourselves, when you really think about it, it's not real. None of it is real. It's just things that you've chosen to make part of your identity. But at the end of the day, we all could choose to be who we want. We all could choose to believe what we want and think how we want. It's a thing of habit, right? It's a thing of routine. I would eat a fulfilling meal. I'm not talking about people that starve themselves when they're hungry and they don't want to let themselves eat. That, out the window. I'm talking about, I know I'm nourishing my body, but for some reason I just want to binge. I just want to go through my entire fridge. I want to order all this food. I want to do da 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 da, right? In those moments, I had to sit here and I would challenge that thought process. I'm only feeling this way because this is a routine that I've built for myself that brings me some sort of dopamine or some sort of comfort. What's going to happen if you do it? In the moment, it might feel great. It might feel like, ugh, this is what I know. This is what's comfortable. This is my identity. But then after, I know I'm going to feel like shit. I know I'm going to sit there and be like, bitch, why? You said you would never do this again. And then time would go on and I would just kind of forget. And I would just get distracted. I would go and do makeup. I would do something to keep my mind off, to get my mind going. And so the more I started to do that, the more I started to go on, and the next day I would wake up and I'd be like, I'm proud of you. Not every time would be perfect, but it was a steady incline, you know? The more I started to do that, and the more I started to beat those challenges, each time started becoming a little bit less uncomfortable. Why is it that you believe this? Do you really believe this, or were you told to believe this? If I didn't look like sick, I didn't think I looked good. And so for the longest time, I love to dance. You might have seen some videos of mine I post on shorts. I love to dance, but I didn't dance for a while. And when I did dance, I really struggled to look in the mirror because I just didn't like the way I looked. I forced myself to stare at myself in the mirror while I danced. Really challenge, like, do you really not look good, or do you think that you don't look good because you think that you're supposed to look one specific way? But in the last few weeks that I've been really challenging everything that I think of, oh, I'm scared what they're gonna think. I'm gonna challenge that. I'm gonna put myself out there. Fuck what they think. I don't want to post this because I don't want to be embarrassed. I'm gonna challenge that. I'm gonna post it. Fuck it. Because of myself doing that so much, I feel like I broke free from this cage that I put myself in. They were never your own voices, you know? You need to talk in a certain way. You have to be this kind of person. Now more than ever, I think it's really important to question everything. Even yourself, the things that you think that you're right about, right? Put yourself in the opposing argument and argue on that side. How would you build your character if one day you were to wake up and your memory was completely wiped? What would you believe in? Who would you be? How would you dress? How would you look? What would you stand up for? You don't have your family telling you what's right, culture telling you what's right, what to believe. If trends didn't exist, if social media didn't exist, what insecurities wouldn't exist anymore? You get what I'm saying? That's what I mean by nothing is real. Challenge everything. You get to choose what you're insecure about. You get to choose. And I'm not saying like, oh, I get to make my own rules. I can go out there, rob a house, and like, obviously, right? That's some dumb shit, like discernment. Obviously, like shit like that is obvious, but I feel like there's always some sort of smart ass, right? So I just need to put that discretion so that that's not on me. But to the smart people watching this, and just because it doesn't follow a trend, it doesn't mean that it's wrong. That other people are gonna judge me. If that's what you're worried about, challenge why is that what you're worried about. So I hope that made sense. And